What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Obviously, this year I've kind of toned back the draft coverage quite a bit. Don't worry, there's something coming out at the end of the summer that'll be more than worth the wait. It's another project I've been working on. But I figured I'd dish on hockey for a couple minutes, give you guys some thoughts on the matter. Again, I apologize for not posting as much these days, but trust me, it'll be worth the wait. It'll all make sense, in the next few weeks. Anyway, let's start with the Domi for Galchenyuk 1-for-1 trade. That's something that's been kind of thought about it for a while. That I love Domi. I think anyone that follows this channel knows how much I'm a huge Max Domi fan. But Montreal is this thing where they draft and develop really, really good players and then trade them away 1-for-1 for players who simply aren't as good. Galchenyuk had more goals during the 15-16 season than Domi has in his career. And the other thing is, well, Domi's younger. Domi's a year younger. Don't bullshit me with, getting the younger player. Well, what are you doing? One's, 24, the other's 23. It's not a whole lot of difference there. And again, going a step further, Montreal gave up Sergachev for Drouin last summer. I mean, it's these weird things that Bergevin does. It's like they're a worse team than they were 2 years ago before they made the Subban trade. And I don't think anyone will argue that. You gave up Subban, Sergachev, and Galchenyuk for Max Domi, Shea Weber, and Drouin. Like, what are you doing? So as a Bruins fan, very happy that the Habs continue to shoot themselves in the foot time after time after time after time. But, it is what it is. It's Mark Bergevin's team, and fan base has got to live with it. Speaking of a long tortured franchise, a team with a lot of great success over the years, it's kind of fallen into the annals of mediocrity in the last decade or 3 decades, really. The New York Islanders. New coach, new general manager. Lou Lamoriello's taken over. Barry Trotz was just named as the head coach. And this is one of those things where it's like, we're a real hockey team again. We're not going to be the laughing stock of the league anymore. And is it too little, too late for Tavares to keep Tavares? I don't think so. I honestly think these moves, plus the fact that he's familiar with the franchise, the fan base, yada yada yada, and they're the Islanders can offer from the 8th year. I think Tavares will resign with the Islanders. I didn't think it was going to be the case 2 or 3 months ago. It's one of those things that you look at it, and the Barry Trotz thing was just weird. That he's not going to be back in Washington. I mean, the team finally wins the Stanley Cup after all these decades of not winning one, and then obviously the last 10-15 years of having Ovechkin, having these amazing squads, and they break through, and then the coach isn't back next year. First time since Scotty Bowman in 2002 that the reigning Stanley Cup champs will be coached by their team from the year before. Although, Mike Keenan was my favorite because Mike Keenan's a piece of shit human being, and everyone that's ever played for him agrees with that. But, and then the draft tomorrow night, Rasmus Dahlin's going number 1. There's going to be some movement. Bruins fans are asking me, do I think they're going to bring Noah Hanifin back to the Bay State? I don't think so. I think the asking price is simply too high. I like Hanifin a lot as a player. I think he'd be a good fit on the team. I would have a wet dream thinking about him and Charlie McAvoy playing together, but it's just not happening. That's the reality of it. We'll see what moves get made in the next few days, weeks, months, what have you. But I think the Noah Hanifin to the Bruins pipe dream is just that. You can think about it, but he's not coming home. Although he actually is training in Norwood this summer, so maybe decides fuck this. But we'll see that situation play out. And also for free agents, I think Kovalchuk ends up in San Jose. JT ends up back on Long Island, or Brooklyn, whatever we want to call it these days. And John Carlson, I think he comes out of New Jersey and Toronto for the services of the best defenseman on the market this year. Likewise, I think the Bruins bring back Rick Nash. I've been saying that all along. I think it's going to be right fit, right money, and Rick Nash is back in Boston next year. So, yeah, well, I'll try to be more active in the next few weeks, but I think, again, like I said, there's something at the end of all this that'll be very much worth the wait for you. Anyway, that's all I got. This episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes for the off season and beyond. Later, guys.